People say the worst betrayals come from strangers. Mine came from the one I trusted most, my best friend, who knew every secret and every soft spot. I found the messages on a borrowed phone, like cold proof of a life they'd been living behind my back. There were bank transfers I didn't recognize, names in her phone I had never met, and a single photograph, my fiancé, laughing in her arms. When I confronted her, she smiled and said I was being dramatic. That was the last time I begged for explanation. Friends watched, jaws tight. The engagement dissolved at a kitchen table while silence ate the room. They expected me to break. I didn't cry. I left with 2 suitcases and a vow that nothing would ever be the same. I left town before dawn, carrying shame like a coat, deciding I would become someone the betrayal could not touch. I changed my name on small things and my future on bigger ones, night classes, a new career, careful friendships built from scratch. Work replaced the emptiness, long nights drafting contracts, learning how money and law could be tools, not traps. I saved every receipt, stored every email, and learned the language of legal papers like it was a new heartbeat. 5 years passed, measured by promotions and quiet victories. I grew taller inside, sharper, and almost unrecognizable. When I finally looked at myself in the mirror, I saw someone ready to return, not for vengeance, but to reclaim what was stolen. I built a case out of patience. Property records, marriage certificates, bank statements, each a tile in a mosaic of proof. I hired a discreet investigator to trace transfers, photographed deeds, and uncovered a paper trail that led straight to her front door. I read legal codes until the letters blurred. For every deception she had, I found a lawful lever I could pull. I kept wedding photos, receipts from dinners they shared, and the small ledger where they documented rumors as if it were a joke. There was a moment, alone in a motel room, when I realized I wasn't angry enough. I wanted justice that would last. So I filed. Not a scream, not a confrontation, paperwork signed and served, each page a quiet, inexorable step toward accountability. When I returned, the town had not changed, but everything looked different through my new resolve. Courtrooms are cold places for warm betrayals. I sat upright, voice steady, letting facts speak while the world leaned in. I watched their faces as exhibit after exhibit unfolded, bank ledgers, property transfers, emails time-stamped like confessions. She tried to charm and to gaslight. Her smiles were smaller now. The jury saw the evidence. The law saw the pattern. I did not shout. I did not sob. I presented truth with the calmness of someone who had reclaimed themselves. When the ruling came, it was not cruelty, it was correction. Assets reassigned, accounts frozen, the symbolic home transferred into clear title. The town murmured. Some called it poetic justice, others whispered about ruined friendships. I felt something quieter, closure. I walked through the house that had been tangled in lies, holding only the small truths that mattered to me. I used what I had reclaimed to build something purposeful, a foundation to support those who had nowhere to turn. Years of trust had been broken, but what I forged in their place was sturdier. Boundaries, clarity, and lawful protection. Revenge had not been my goal. Restitution was. I sought fairness, and in seeking it I found myself again. I never wanted to be the villain of my own story. I became the author, measured, deliberate, and unafraid to ask for justice.